On 24 August 2024, we all learned through the news that Bangladesh Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina was ousted from her position and subsequently fled to India seeking political asylum, an event reported by national and international media alike. But what caught global attention later was that, along with the Indian Air Force, aircraft belonging to one of India's top intelligence agencies were also deployed to ensure the safety of Hasina's journey from Bangladesh to India. This incident was later given immense importance by international observers. Within days, it was revealed by some defense publications that these 3 aircraft belonged to India's Aerial Intelligence Wing, the Aviation Research Center. These reports claimed that ARC is one of 3 specialized intelligence networks deployed by New Delhi for aerial surveillance and intelligence gathering, both in enemy and friendly nations. This revelation triggered global curiosity to know more about this secretive organization. Prominent figures in global aerial intelligence circles and experts in high-risk, covered operations began to highlight ARC's vital contributions to India's security. Let us now understand in detail about this organization, the ARC, and other related aspects. Origin of the Aviation Research Center. The Aviation Research Center, or ARC, was established by the central government in the aftermath of the 1962 India-China War, which was a turning point for reforms in India's intelligence framework. Based on expert recommendations that emphasized the need for a dedicated technical agency for enhanced aerial surveillance and intelligence gathering, particularly in the Himalayan regions sharing borders with Tibet, and along the northern and western frontiers, the Prime Minister's office decided to initiate this move. At that time, India's sole intelligence agency, the Intelligence Bureau, IB, did not have a separate division for aerial intelligence collection. For such operations, they had to depend on the Indian Air Force. This dependency, combined with frequent lack of coordination between the Air Force and the IB, often resulted in the armed forces not receiving critical intelligence in time. These shortcomings strongly influenced the PMO's decision and compelled the central government to form a specialized aerial intelligence agency. The Union Cabinet's intention was to equip ARC with the most modern equipment, more advanced than what the Air Force had at its disposal, and place it under the supervision of the Intelligence Bureau while still granting it operational independence. As a result, on 7 November 1962, the Aviation Research Center began its operations from the Cabinet Secretariat in New Delhi under the direct guidance of then Prime Minister Shri Jawaharlal Nehru, and in utmost secrecy. Early days of the Aviation Research Center. The first director of the Aviation Research Center was none other than Shri R.N. Kao, who would later be hailed as one of the finest spy masters in the modern world. To assist him in this role, the Union Cabinet issued a special order appointing Lal Singh Grewal, a renowned high-altitude pilot and then group captain in the Indian Air Force. Although ARC initially functioned from the Cabinet Secretariat, due to the need for better technical facilities, its operations were later shifted to Chabesia, near Cuttack in Odisha. Chabesia had an existing airstrip built during World War II. With assistance from the Indian Army, Kao and his team set up ARC's operational headquarters in a modest building at the site. A few months later, recognizing the potential of this location for developing an expansive spy base, R.N. Kao himself recommended to the Prime Minister's office that ARC be brought back to New Delhi. Meanwhile, the Intelligence Bureau, IB, with technical and financial assistance from the American intelligence agency CIA, constructed a massive spy base in Chabesia to support ARC's surveillance aircraft and its imagery intelligence lab. In 1967, when India's first dedicated foreign intelligence agency, the Research and Analysis Wing, RAW, was established exclusively for external espionage, the central government issued an official notification placing ARC as a subsidiary unit under RAW. Aircraft. In the early and present era of the Aviation Research Center, ARC, the Aviation Research Center began its journey in 1962 with a single Helio twin Courier aircraft that had been procured from the United States Air Force. Later, in 1965, the agency added to British-made Canberra aircraft and French-made Alouette helicopters, acquired from the Indian Air Force. When ARC was formally brought under the Research and Analysis Wing, RAW, in 1967, a whole new generation of advanced surveillance equipment and aircraft were introduced. Since Rameshwar Nath Kao, the first director of ARC, was also serving as the director of RAW at the time, he laid out an ambitious long-term development plan for the agency in the early 1970s. As part of this vision, numerous electronic devices and long-range aerial cameras were imported from Western Europe and the Soviet Union. These sophisticated, state-of-the-art technologies were installed primarily in newly acquired An-12 aircraft and Mi-8 helicopters. Given ARC's responsibility to transport personnel of the Special Frontier Force, RAW's Tibetan paramilitary unit, To target locations for mission deployment, the aircraft fleet was further expanded from the mid-1980s to include Russian aircraft like Il-73 and 22 Yak-40 business jets, and the high-speed MiG-25. Over time, a diverse range of aircraft such as the Boeing 707, Gulfstream business jets, and Embraer Legacy jets were also inducted into ARC's operational fleet, enhancing its capabilities even further. Notable operations of the Aviation Research Center, ARC. In its very first month of formation, November 1962, the Aviation Research Center began its first imagery intelligence operation over enemy territory with a spy mission sortie using a Canberra aircraft flown under the command of the Indian Air Force, targeting the Chinese-occupied region of Tibet. This mission, which achieved nearly 80% of its intelligence objectives, became a training ground of sorts for ARC's early operatives. Later, in 1965, ARC aircraft, equipped with high-resolution reconnaissance capabilities, flew daring missions over Lop Nur, the Chinese nuclear test range in the desert, and the Chinese-occupied Shaksagam Valley. Successfully dodging enemy radar systems, ARC pilots conducted these extremely risky aerial surveillance operations to uncover critical military movements planned by the China-Pakistan alliance, thereby boosting Indian border preparedness. In the same year, ARC teams also played a role in an American espionage mission named Project 596, conducted from the Nanda Devi Peak in the Himalayas, aimed at monitoring Chinese activities. From the 1970s up to the year 2000, it is believed, according to several global open-source intelligence platforms, that ARC conducted numerous imagery intelligence and signals intelligence operations from nearly 8 different spy air bases located in enemy regions. Among these, one operation that gained global attention and was even praised by Western media took place in May 1997, when ARC's premier aircraft, the high-speed MiG-25 Foxbat, penetrated deep into Pakistan's capital, Islamabad, flying at supersonic speed, stunning enemy radar systems and observers alike. Global landscape of aerial intelligence agencies. According to international intelligence experts, India's Aerial Intelligence Agency, the Aviation Research Center, ARC, currently ranks 4th in the world. In terms of operational expanse, it stands 5th globally. Within Asia, the Chabesia Air Base, which is under the control of this agency, is considered the second largest. From this location, ARC operates its special mission aircraft, enabling it to comprehensively monitor South Asia and, to a significant extent, the Indo-Pacific region. The Chabesia base is also the home base for ARC's long-range surveillance aircraft, particularly the Boeing 707 fleet. Because of this, Chabesia is widely regarded as the agency's most critical operational hub. Given that ARC is a highly specialized agency that shares sensitive intelligence with the National Security Council Secretariat, often vital to national security, there are strong speculations that in 2016, the Prime Minister's office granted it expanded powers. As a result, from that same year onward, it is believed that ARC's covert missions began receiving direct weaponry support and defensive air cover from the Indian Air Force, marking a significant enhancement of its operational autonomy and security capabilities. Jai Hind.